called The Goat. It's by a band called Puppy. It is their debut album. They are from London, and they're an alt metal band. Which is just not enough to describe them. There was all that hype. It was an incredible hype that came after their Volume 2 EP that came out in 2017. Again, always on my radar, and always one of the things to like buy and listen to. Just never did. This album covers damn near every known rock genre that's commonly heard, which is great because it means you've got such an eclectic mix of music to listen to. But for me, I'm a self-confessed genre Nazi. Everything needs to fit into a category. It's been a fucking nightmare to categorize this. Oh my god, I can't even. So they use a lot, in general, they do use a lot of vocal layering, layered vocal harmonies, similarly to Prestamico. Differences are Prestamico do change around who's going to be the lead lyricist for a song, whereas Puppy, it is all about Jock Norton and the other two guys whose names escape me. I'm going to quickly find them to do them justice. But yeah, the other two guys sort of back up Jock, if that makes sense. What have I there? Annoyingly, I did have them written down right in front of me, and for whatever reason, the line hasn't synced across because fuck you, right? I'll find out as we go along. But yeah, each song, like I said, has a uniqueness about them, so you can't really feel like you're getting the same song more than once. And oh, why would you do that to me? Computers, am I right, lads? So it's Jock Norton, bolstered by Billy Howard and Will Michaels. Sorry, lads, I forgot your names. To be fair, I didn't remember Jock's. It's just written down. I'm just a shit. So anyways, open up with Black Hole. It has got massive Helmet vibes. Helmet, I feel like quite underrated 90s alt metal grungy band. And there's a deep, dirty bass backing fairly trad metal sounding guitars that sound just great in parallel with each other. Jock's vocals have like an eerie, I use that word too much, ghostness about them. And combined with the backing vocals from Billy and Will, the choruses sound fucking huge. And it is the first of every song having a massive singable chorus to go with them. To the point where it bridges gaps to maybe pop levels of choruses. I think I'll touch on a bit more later, but all these songs are designed for a live environment. They will be fucking great. The final chorus where the drums go like double time, it just gets you so hyped for the rest of the album. And the rest of the album fucking excels at it. So here we are. Next song, Vengeance, continues the Helmet vibes. More huge sounding choruses, that bit for live environment. Riffs for days. This is such a riff heavy album in general. The riff, particularly on this song after the first chorus, is just French fingers. General cooking country finger kissing. And like Italian hand pinching to say how good it is. That's the level we're at now. I'm actually making the hand movements as we speak, even though there's no one here to see them. And I feel like every song, I could easily just go on and on and on and on about the huge chorus, because on any given day, a different song can be stuck in your head. And it got me thinking, in terms of how good these songs are and how good the choruses are for each song, it's so fucking unfair. It's so unfair. It's so unfair because Poppy have made an album completely full of memorable and catchy choruses, when you've got bands who massively struggle to get more than one on an album. And Poppy make it seem so easy that you think, oh, every band could do it. And then every band comes out and then a lot of them can't do this. And they can't write that iconic chorus. And they can't write that hooky earworm sort of music. And it is unfair how Poppy can do it seemingly so easy, where you get so many bands who struggle and then you just lose out on so many other good bands because this one's so good. Don't know if that made sense, but you want more bands and artists to be this level of good when you've got bands like Bullet for My Valentine around who aren't that anymore. And you just think, God fucking damn, dude. And then you think people like Gene Simmons say rock music is dead, and then you listen to this and think, man, Gene, you're a fucking idiot. But there we go, that's just Gene Simmons being a fucking idiot, because he is indeed a fucking idiot. Influences for this album just come from everywhere, and that's genre, time zones, everything. I previously mentioned Helmet, and So I Burn has an old school Judas Priest riffage about it throughout it, that's kind of a sentence. Conversely, though, which I thought was quite interesting, Demons, which is the album ender, has more of a modern Firepower era riff nestled away, which I think it's more of a trademark to Judas Priest, the fact that they are still influencing bands, and it's 2019, and their album last year. It's fucking uncanny. The rest of the Demons song has a lot of Iron Maiden-esque riff in there as well. Nightwalker gives me a lot of Ghost vibes. I was going to say it's the best song that Ghost never wrote, but Sarais and Death Macabre exist. So they are on par with those two songs. I probably pronounced Sarais wrong. Sarais? I'm going to go Sarais. Say how it's spelled. Entombed is the lead song. I know it was on Volume 2, and that's a song that a lot of people are looking forward to. And also it's like one of the lead songs that's played live as well. It sounds like if Mastodon blew up in the 90s, particularly chorus and break before the solo, and then the actual solo itself. It's a lot of, from memory, it's a lot of guitar harmonies, a lot of dual harmonies, both vocally and musically, and it just sounds fucking huge and fucking heavy, but not extreme metal heavy, and it's just, God, this album's good. I'm not an expert, famous last words, I'm not an expert, but on I Feelin' Evil, I kind of got a lot of Zakk Wylde 90s Ozzy Osbourne feeling from it, particularly the post-chorus riff, which is just bathed in pinch harmonics, which are pretty much fuel Zakk Wylde at this point. And the last song I'll isolate is Bathe in Blood. It's just got loads of blast beats in it. And this is not an extreme metal album at all. This is not an extreme metal song. It's just not. But yeah, the bulk of the song is blast beats, and they sound so fucking good. And blast beats are always fun, but so uncommon when they're used outside of extreme music. The only example I can think of off the top of my head was Saints and Sinners by the Defiled. Which I know, I'd say Defiled are a lot heavier than Puppy, easily. They're like a industrial groove metalcore kind of band who are severely missed. But yeah, they got massive blast beats in the opening verse. I went looking for blast beats in Holy Hell by Architects, and I just couldn't find an example, but I know they're nestled away in there somewhere. But yeah, otherwise, Bathe in Blood, apart from those blast beats, it's quite spacey grunge music, kind of, sure. And overall, yeah, if you can't tell already, I fucking love this album. Even down to the album art, which, I'll be honest, I think a lot of it's down to the fact that I've got a huge thing for pagan visuals at the moment. My Instagram is just fucking full of... The Instagram Explore bit is just full of this shit right now. But it's so simple, it's so cool, it's so just... Damn. Like, Ron Simmons, damn, that's how good it is. And I don't even think this is going to be the best album. I think they can only get absolutely so much fucking better. Even though this is, like, at the moment, album of the year for me, and a lot of people say it's easily the best guitar album of the year. Excuse me. As I was looking around for what other people thought, Heavy Bloggers Heavy made a really interesting point that said there's too much separation between genres. Excuse me, again. So they compared it to Zealand Ardor. Zealand Ardor combined so many different genres, in fact, it felt like a new genre. I kind of get where they're coming from with this album. There's a lot of, although there is a cloud of alt metal grunge over it, there's still a lot of different influences, like the Ghost influences, the Judas Priest and Maiden, the potential Zakk Wylde sort of thing. But you can single out each and every genre between each and every song, if that makes sense. I think the next step is to try and incorporate more of those influences into a song. So as opposed to saying that song is just a grunge song, it can be this and that and this and that, and it's just going to really ruin my head and all my genre Nazism that I spoke about before. I will compare these two. So if you are a fan of Helmet, I think you really go for this. I think. See, I never really got on properly with Ghost. I've heard so many people talk about them, and I just can't get into them the same way everyone else can. I feel like how everyone talks about Ghost is how I feel about Puppy. And musically, there are similarities there, so I can put Ghost out there as well. So if you like Ghost, I think you should go for Puppy. And also, the way they sort of blend genres together, I think it's worth checking out if you are a fan of Hawkeyes, which are a Leeds-based multi-genre metal band who, again, criminally underrated. So it'd be surprised if you've heard of them but not of Puppy, or you haven't listened to Puppy without, you know. But yeah, if you are a fan of Hawkeyes, a fan of Ghost, or a fan of Helmet, I think you should definitely go for Puppy. If you're just a fan of guitar music in general, no matter what you usually listen to, from Queens of the Stone Age to Arctic Monkeys to fucking Lamb of God, I think Puppy is going to be your next favourite band. Personally.